Good evening. This is Maestro with the Dawn of War 2 Retribution Elite Modcast. Today, we have a 3v3 on Khatrin Purification plant. Our first player is going to be Sanguinary Priest Vex, playing as the Eversor Assassin. This is a melee assassin commander who can sacrifice his own health to deal damage. Next up, it's going to be Jester, playing as the Orc Commando Knob. This is a sneaky orc with bombs, guns, and knives to kill you all sneaky-like. And finally, for the blue team, it'll be Kingfisher playing as the Force Commander. Tanky melee hero, can knock things down with Battlecry and buff things with Battlecry. Their opponents, we're going to start off with Excalibur playing as the Lord Commissar. This is a slightly tanky melee hero, free energy shield, can also shoot his own troops to make them fight harder. On his side is going to be ChernoDelta playing as the Hive Tyrant. This is yet another tanky, aggressive melee hero that cannot be knocked down or suppressed. And finally, it's going to be Soilbane playing as the Brother Captain of the Ordo Malleus. Tanky melee hero can't be knocked down or suppressed, can use We Are the Hammer to increase his defense and speed. Strike Squad right here going to be taking some shots at the Eversor Assassin as the Eversor Assassin engages the Brother Captain in melee. Eversor Assassin has now activated Psychon, sacrifices some of his health, but he gains increased damage as well as damage resistance, I believe. However, it looks like it's not quite enough against the combination of the Strike Squad and the Brother Captain, and now he's actually at risk of going down in retreat, and indeed he does. There is the on-death explosion, but not going to be enough to really do a huge amount of damage to the Strike Squad. I guess just a little bit of a miscalculation by Sanguinary Priest Vex. However, the support is here, and Jester coming in with that revive really quick. Some support coming in for the red team from ChernoDelta. Not quite sure if it's going to be enough, though. Okay, but here's the re-engage by Soilbane. One squad of Hormigons getting pretty low. Hive Tyrant is still in here. Not a lot of damage has been put on him. Meanwhile, the Strike Squad from Soilbane getting pretty low, might lose just another model in retreat. Indeed they do. The entire squad, will the entire squad go down? Indeed it does. That is an early loss for Soilbane, rather unfortunately for him, as we do see the Eversor has to go down again. Oh man. So we've got quite a start already. Meanwhile, on this side, I don't know if Excalibur is really being contested all that much. Since it does look like, it does look like at the moment Kingfisher has been pushed back a bit. He suffered some losses as well, trying to go with a double tack build instead of a double scout build, or instead of getting a tier 1.5 squad next. Takes a little bit of time to get that second tack squad out, and he's, suffering from having lost one of his scout squads. So Generator has been bashed. Meanwhile, we are going to see the Commando Knob moving up, trying to get some shots in maybe on these Termagants, possibly even looking for a force melee. He's getting real close. He wants point-blank shooting. And Termagants will return fire against him as he decides to move back out. Meanwhile, we are going to see that the blue team has taken the contested victory point. Strike Squad, double Strike Squad out of Sanguinary Priest Vex, looking for that double banishment cast, something that is regarded as a little cheesy at the moment in the Elite mod. The spell that was given to the Strike Squad with this recent patch, which basically gives them an ability that is more or less equivalent to the Librarian's Smite. It's slightly weaker than Smite, but, well, you can get it on more than one squad, so that ends up being quite strong. Alright, engagement going on here between the Tyranids and the Orcs. Commando Knob laying in fire. Sluggers are in melee. They do get a heal from the Pain Boy, but I feel like the heal is slightly late as we see the Slugger Squad already losing models. The Hormigons have been scared off. The Warriors, meanwhile, at risk of popping some models. One model was popped, did trigger some Synapse backlashes, and although there are some model losses on both sides, it does look like this will be an engagement in favor of Jester. Hormigons are still chasing after the Shooters, but they are themselves being chased down by the Pain Boy, who is definitely inflicting some hurt on them. And, maybe I'm wrong. It actually looks like, well, the engagement's still going, so we can't necessarily call it a one engagement either way. And it looked like ChernoDelta was able to push forward. He did force off some models, some squads, but in the end, it does look like it indeed is a win engagement, or one engagement for Jester. On this side, does look like these double Strike Squad helping Sanguinary Priest Vex to, I was going to say to win this engagement, but he retreated the Eversor Assassin at full health. That is a strange one. There's no way around. That was a strange one. You know, Eversor Assassin still at full health, can still just fight the Brother Captain in melee. He still had the support from the Strike Squad. He was upgrading to the Executioner pistol, and that would have also been something that would have been pretty useful when trying to kite that Brother Captain. Would slow him by 40% and do that 120 piercing damage over time. So a little bit of a strange retreat from him there, and conceding that victory point over to Soilbane. Meanwhile, Assault Marines will be jumping in, but it does look like we are going to see a Force Commander go down here. Force Commander is down. It's a sloppy fight, but here's the support from Jester to help out his teammate. Commissar Lord, or rather Lord Commissar, in retreat, but the rest of these Guardsman units are still here. If anything, this is a lot of just backpedaling without much in terms of kiting. I mean, the Khatrin Devils weren't really being targeted there, so they could have briefly stopped to shoot their shotguns, which would have put a lot of damage pressure on the Sluggers. I know they didn't have... It didn't look like they had the Shotgun Blast available because they were low on energy, whether it was Shotgun Blast or Ultra Reliable. But you know what? No matter. Hormagaunts coming in alongside some Warriors. The Hormagaunts going in pretty deep and going into a really big blob. Normally, I would think I would want the Warriors to lead in first. The Warriors do eventually get in there. They get a nice leap into combat, knocking down the Sluggers as well as the Pain Boy. Pain Boy will be forced off the field, as will the Sluggers, and the Shooter Boys at that point do just have to make a full retreat. Meanwhile, there is that cast, that double cast of Banishment out of Sanguinary Priest Vex, certainly doing quite a bit of damage to the Inquisitorial Stormtroopers, and it looks like it will indeed be a retreat. Soilbane coming in. I think that was like a hard rotation from him, coming in all the way from the other side of the map, but he does help inflict some squad losses onto Jester. I mean, it looks like the Eversor Assassin will go down for a third time. And all these Stormtroopers are in melee with the Hormagaunts as well as the Warriors, and this is not going well at all for them. This squad of Stormtroopers, will they go down in retreat? I don't think they will, but it's close. And they just might. Oh, one more shot, and they actually did go down in retreat. It was cutting really, really close. I think they were just barely at the point where they would have gotten out of range. Okay, fight is going on right here. Another cast of Banishment goes in. This is a squad of Interceptors now, and oh no, the Strike Squad, they'll make it out of there alive. I know. Yeah, they will make this one. This time, the squad that's in retreat and looks like it's going to die will make it out. But the Sluggers themselves in so much trouble. Oh my God. All right. Interceptors have to jump away, though, as they are down to just one model. Commando not being hit by chain knockbacks. That's pretty rough for him. There are actually so many times in this game when it's looking really scary and people might go down. Sometimes it has happened, sometimes it hasn't. Commando not, meanwhile, has an upgrade. He's got the Assassin's Knife. Not too often, I feel, you see that one. The Commando Knob is primarily a ranged commander, but you can make him into a melee commander. And I definitely think there are times when this can work out quite well. Also getting the Mega Boom Kit does look like he'll be going for either some stick bombs or kaboom in the accessory slot. Meanwhile, Assault Marines jump in, but not getting a whole lot done. This is also something, this is a little bit suspect for these Tactical Marines. We've got double Plasma Guardsmen. They will win that trade. Some Guardsman models will be lost, but, I mean, just the one TAC model was already down. Didn't want to give up another because it would have been a majorly losing trade for Kingfisher there. Kingfisher, in particular, having a lot of trouble in his lane. Blue team right now lacking their natural victory point, but Jester will pick it up. As we do now see the Eversor Assassin moving in, does have that Executioner pistol. This is something that is generally regarded as a pretty strong war gear weapon for him, but it is a Tier 1 weapon war gear, so sometimes you will see it replaced in Tier 2, as statistically Tier 1 weapon war gears usually just don't measure up to Tier 2 war gears, and that is the fourth time we will see the Eversor Assassin go down. But I think in the case of that Executioner pistol, it's mostly just that the neurotoxin ability that comes with it is quite strong. Further commander upgrades, we are going to see the Brother Captain from Soilbane being upgraded with the Nemesis Force Halberd as well as the Unending Purge. Nemesis Force Halberd, generally just regarded as the statistically strongest one since it has no ability, but you get power melee, pretty good base numbers in 83.33 DPS, and then you also get that splash effect as well. Okay, not a whole lot happened at the moment. We'll take a look at some other upgrades. It will indeed be Kaboom in the end, so that's definitely something that could be a lot of fun. We already see that it is a melee Commando knob, so he's looking to get into melee anyway. Going to be some grenades thrown out from both sides. The Inquisitorial Stormtroopers will find themselves suppressed. The Strike Squad, this is the Strike Squad, yes, from Sanguinary Priest Vex, going to find themselves getting scared off into retreating. Meanwhile, ooh, we've got some Purifiers out here from Sanguinary Priest Vex as well. It's been a minute since I've seen some Purifiers. Okay. Meanwhile, talking about more upgrades, we do have a Thunderhammer Force Commander, as we do see him getting those area of effects special attacks against the Ogrins. Unfortunately for Kingfisher, he is being doubled once again. Has to be real careful with this Razorback. Already taken more than half of its hit points in damage from that Venom Brood, as we do see the Ogrins continuing to chase in. Probably just being forgotten about. Certainly don't want to see them getting wiped entirely from a little micro mistake, and okay, luckily they won't get wiped entirely, but they will lose 2 of their models in the process, one of them even being the Bonehead leader. Kingfisher seeing if he can make it 3 models. Unfortunately for him, it does seem like he is eternally at the mercy of King Excalibur right here. A little bit of a lane mismatch possibility. Meanwhile, we are going to see the Sluggers move up. Certainly one of Kill Jester's units should be looking for taking this natural victory point back. Let's take. I just want to take a little bit of a look at that Eversor assassin down there on the ground. He will picked up again, looking like the Terminator from the Terminator movies. Just in case you weren't sure what I meant, as opposed to, you know, like Warhammer 40k Terminators. All right, Eversor assassin. Oh no, Sanguinary Priest Vex doesn't realize he's been revived, and that's going to be the Eversor assassin being going down for, I think, a 5th time. All right then. I know he was looking for Kaboom there. He's looking for Kaboom, but now he needs to get out of there. Kaboom, that was fun. Kaboom is a very fun war gear. I don't play Orcs very much, but to the extent that I played Orcs in the past, it was pretty much for the purpose of getting the chance to use Kaboom. It's really, really fun. Meanwhile, Commissar Lord, or rather Lord Commissar, he is just going to go full Leroy Jenkins right there. He will be taken down, never even activating his energy shield in the process. Meanwhile, the Tactical Marines, 1 model left on them. There are some repairs on this Razorback, trying to keep it healthy, but it's getting pretty low. It needs to use a smoke grenade, or no, it's done. I was going to say it needs to use like the smoke grenade, or it needs repairs, it needs to keep backing up, but eventually it was taken out. Weird Boy will be out for Kill Jester, as we do see some shots going in from the Weird Boy. Meanwhile, up here, Tactical Marines, just kidding, I meant Strike Squad. Oh no, we've got the Purifiers in melee with the Grey Knight Dreadnought, and look at this. The Purifiers actually making kind of short work of this Grey Knight Dreadnought. Grey Knight Dreadnought, though, is upgrading to a Power Fist, or a Dreadnought Claw, which to me looks like kind of the same thing, but anyway. Oh, and okay, Sanguinary Priest Vex does back off in time. He's getting a 2nd squad of Purifiers. Again, it's been long enough since I've seen 1 squad of Purifiers, let alone 2. So, Purifiers Tier 2 melee unit for the Ordo Malleus, and of course, yeah, I mean, it's actually been so long that, I mean, they're a dedicated melee unit. They're a bit tougher than Interceptors or Strike Squad. However, you know, they're not that commonly seen, and I think a big part of that is that they are a little bit redundant with some of the existing Tier 1 melee units. Those literally be... Oh, the 6th time he's going down. The Strike Squad as well as the Interceptors. And of course, again, statistically, they are a little bit better. There's Kaboom again, even knocking back the Hive Tyrant. Although, as we can see, Commando Knob does take a lot of damage in the process. So yeah, I think that's one reason why I feel that Purifier is not too common. The redundance with Foot of Cork, oh my god. The redundance with Interceptors as well as Strike Squad. And then I think secondarily, or maybe not even secondarily, maybe the next reason I'm about to say is probably the more primary one, which is that generally I think the strike squad just kind of competes with what are probably stronger overall choices in things like the Rhino, the Terminator Librarian, as well as the Grey Knight Dreadnought. And I think all that kind of contributes to why Purifier's not a particularly common unit. But we're going to see 2 of them from Sanguinary Priest Vex alone. Meanwhile, talking about this Carnifex right here. Carnifex out for ChernoDelta. It's going to be a Thornback Carnifex, so we see that it really just wants to get up really close into melee. Lacks a ranged weapon compared to the other Carnifex upgrades, but it does, of course, have more health. It can charge. It also has Pheromone Cyst to spawn Rippers, and Rippers are quite useful, I gotta say. Especially when you can just spawn them from the Carnifex. Victory points looking pretty even, 379 to 347. So we've got a melee Dreadnought right here, also upgrading to get the Maelstrom ability. A little bit surprised to see the melee Dreadnought. I do feel like typically these days I do more often see ranged Dreadnoughts. I think particularly the Plasma Cannon. But, well, in this case, it's a melee Dreadnought. It feels like he mainly was upgrading at that one time when he was being chased down by the Purifiers and wanted to be able to stop them. But then he got them out even without really needing to use the Power Fist or Dreadnought Claw, as the game calls it. So it did feel like kind of an unnecessary upgrade to me, and not quite the ideal one. Foot of Gork being threatened on those guardsmen. They're not moving out of there. They will retreat. They will get knocked down. Some of them do take some damage, and we've got players coming in from all sides. Carnifex stomping in, while the Sluggers and the Tactical Marines trying to get as many guardsman model kills as they can. A few models taken off that Catachan Devil squad. Zoanthrope right here is way overextended. Needs, oh my god, this is the dead Zoanthrope. Alright, Weird Boy, pretty low himself, but he makes it out alive. A very nice plasma overcharge going in on all 3 of these Orc squads from the Inquisitorial Stormtroopers. Doesn't look like there is quite enough follow-up to it, though, and the Orc squad's able to weather the storm. However, eventually there is the Interceptor squad coming into support. That also gives the Dreadnought some time to get in there as well. We are going to see a Lehmann Russ out on the field for Excalibur, and this Lehmann Russ will be an Executioner Lehmann Russ. Executioner Lehmann Russ being the anti-infantry variant, and despite the fact that I call it the anti-infantry variant, it's still actually fairly good against vehicles, since the damage type for all those shots we're seeing going out is plasma cannon damage, and plasma cannon damage actually does do full damage to vehicles, but it's still considered not the anti-vehicle upgrade, because it does have shorter range compared to certainly the Vanquisher cannon. Alright, a little bit of a respite from all of the action as we do now see Vindicare Assassin out from Sanguinary Priest Vex. He's also gotten rid of the Executioner pistol in favor of the Neuro Gauntlet, and I mean, it's 80 DPS power melee. He's not able to perform special attacks, however. I'm not entirely sure why that was chosen to be. That it's such a strange thing that he's not able to do special attacks, but you know, that's just how it is. Either way, big fight going down right now. It's going to be a Rox, just a raw Rox being put on the Lehmann Russ. Lehmann Russ is not moving, but the Lehmann Russ still there, taking a lot of shots. Warp Vomit goes in. It's also going to be a Rocket Run as well, and it's just carnage all over the place with Rox. Rocket Run in several directions, being knocked all over the place. Lehmann Russ, however, able to weather the literal rock storm, and is now being chased down by a Multi-Melta Dreadnought. That Multi-Melta Dreadnought, of course, does plenty of damage, but it is itself taking some damage. Where are the repairs on this Lehmann Russ? It needs to come in. Otherwise, I think one more shot from the Dreadnought actually would have finished the Lehmann Russ, but he wasn't willing to take his chances. In fact, if it was a rear armor shot, it definitely would have done it. Although I don't know if he could have scored a rear armor shot from this position. All right, Bio Meltdown going to be used by the Eversor Assassin, and that's also going to be another use of Kaboom. Kaboom, always just fun to see that used. So some upgrades, further upgrades. Oh no, we've got one Grey Knight Dreadnought, very, very far from home, but it does have some support in the form of these Paladins. So we're seeing some nice use out of that Kaboom. We also see a Melt-A-Bomb upgraded from the Eversor Assassin. That Neuro Gauntlet that I showed before, just a very big statistical increase with that 80 power melee DPS. That is going to be the Emperor's Fist thrown down by the Grey Knight Dreadnought, but I'm not sure if it makes it out here alive. I mean, yeah, the Paladin's trying to support it, but they will get stunned. The Paladins themselves now in a huge amount of trouble. This could be like a double kill against Soilbane. I mean, yeah, he's absolutely going to lose. Or is he? And the Knobs are still chasing. I think there's still a decent chance that they can complete the kill on the Dreadnought. Luckily for the Paladins, they do have a teleport out, so the Paladins might be okay. But on the other hand, okay, to finish off the Dreadnought, this Dreadnought, it's got to be dead. It's got to be dead. And then I think if they turn... My god, the Dreadnought, it's actually going to be okay. It has a cast of Maelstrom. This is actually bizarre. That was crazy that the Dreadnought managed to get out of there alive with 7 hit points. 7. Meanwhile, the Paladins might not be so lucky, as we do now see Sentinel missile launchers going in. Assault Marines will jump in as well. Suppression is going down on the Warriors. Big knockback, though, from the Seismic Roar. Not out of the Warriors, but out of the Hive Tyrant. As I was trying to select the Hive Tyrant, but accidentally clicked on the Warriors. All right, Inquisitorial Stormtroopers shooting at the other squad of Inquisitorial Stormtroopers. Meanwhile, it's going to be a Foot of Gork. That Foot of Gork will catch quite a few people. Does also hit the bunker. I think if the Foot of Gork was just put on the bunker itself, it might have actually destroyed it. Meanwhile, the Vindicare Assassin, very mysteriously, taking no damage. Vindicare Assassin now under some amount of threat, but it does look like he will get out of there. Full retreat from the blue team at the moment, aside from this suicidal Eversor Assassin. It's looking like the 7th time he's going to go down. All right, maybe not. Oh no, Ogryn's in retreat. They can finish off the Vindicare Assassin, but they don't go for it. They will instead, they're instead going for potentially a bigger prize. They might actually be able to wipe this strike squad. I don't think so, but they got a few models, and that in itself is quite worth it. They're going to continue to chase. They might be able to get one more model, but I don't think they get all 3. Interceptors teleport in, looking to finish the job, but I don't think it will be enough to finish off the whole squad. At this point, Ogryn's just trying to shoot their ranged weapons at it, but it's not enough. Still, getting that squad down to 1 model is still a big win. It's going to be some very, very expensive reinforcements for Sanguinary Priest Vex. I think it's going to be 75 requisition per model. Yeah, 75 requisition per model times 3, 225 requisition. We're doing some caster math right here. It's a victory point lead for our red team. Our blue team certainly on them to make something happen at this time. Kingfisher with a rather big army moving into the middle as the Executioner Cannon from the Lehmann Russ will be opening fire. Starts with an Assault Marine kill. The Assault Marines jumping in anyway, even though they've only got about 20% of their hit points. This is going to be definitely a dead squad of Assault Marines. However, it will be followed up with some rushing in from the Knobs, the Ogrins. The Ogrins are actually on the other team. The Sluggas as well. Going to be a Tyranid formation coming in. Big Tyranid formation. And it's going to be another Rox. This one is a Rox, not a Foot of Gork. Sometimes hard to tell the difference when units are covering it up. Does seem like we're going to have another Commander kill. It's going to be the Brother Captain as well as the Force Commander going down. That will be a dead bunker. Lehmann Russ is still here, laying in those shots. Certainly that Lehmann Russ, the Executioner Lehmann Russ, great against Knobs. We see an orbital bombardment. There is going to be a Devastator Marine squad caught in it. No one else is caught in it, though. So I think it'll be the wipe on the Devastator Marines. Yes, they are gone. Meanwhile, Tactical Marines right here. 3 models, now down to 1. Lost 2 models with a single shot from the Focused Warp. Not from the Focused Warp, just the shot from the Zone Throw. This Tactical Marine squad, there's a decent chance that it's dead, and there it is. Meanwhile, the Commando Knob just barely getting out of there alive, using the stun bomb on the Paladins that were attacking him. I think if he hadn't used that stun bomb, there's a decent chance that he would have gone down there. Ooh, Lehmann Russ now is exposing rear armor to the Dreadnought, but it is faster than the Dreadnought, so it should be able to run away. Zone Throw, that's another dead Zone Throw out of ChernoDelta. Warp Vomit goes in, as we do see the Knobs continuing to fight in melee. Knobs have been getting quite a bit of value. Meanwhile, these Paladins are stunned for what feels like ages. Paladins are turning around and trying to fight again, but they're about to be overwhelmed. They need to have a teleport out of there, otherwise there's a decent chance that the Paladins will go down. They're still at 3 of their models, not anymore. They lose 2 before that teleport fully goes in to save the squad. Only a single squad. This is like a single squad of warriors. A single squad of warriors by themselves, never going to win this. Commissar, where are you going? Get out of here. Or you need, if you're going to come in here, you need more support than just one squad of Khatrin Devils using Old Reliable behind you. And this is a dead Commissar, I think. No, he's not. He's dead. All right, double cap for the blue team at the moment. Plasma shot goes in. Double plasma overcharge. Usually not a huge amount of damage, but against a low-health Tactical Marine squad, one of those Tactical Marine models was killed. Tank Busters, meanwhile, trying to act like they're Dread Busters, shooting in some Tank Buster rockets at that Grey Knight Dreadnought. Ooh, Grey Knight Dreadnought. I think this Grey Knight Dreadnought, I was going to say I think it's done, but with the Space Marine Dreadnought having trouble getting around that corner correctly, it might not. Melted Dreadnought certainly does a lot of damage. It actually does 190 damage per shot, which does mean that it actually does one-shot many squad models. All right, Orbital Bombardment will come in. Will anyone be caught in it? Space Marine Dreadnought now in a bit of trouble. Okay, we do have one squad of Guardsmen very, very nicely caught in that orbital. The Khatrin Devils themselves caught, but they will survive. So will the Guardsmen so far, but there is some follow-up from the Knobs. Actually, Knobs are going to be hidden. Now they're revealed. Another Lehmann Russ out for Excalibur. This one will be the Vanquisher Cannon. Vanquisher Cannon, more effective against vehicles. Even though the raw DPS, as we see, is not much higher than the Executioner Cannon, it's more just a matter of the Vanquisher Lehmann Russ has very, very long range. I believe it has a range of 55 units. And, oh, wow, but that Vanquisher Lehmann Russ not going to be around to vanquish anything. Instead, it will find itself vanquished by the double Knob Squad. Maybe Stormer Blades in retreat would actually do so much damage. Doesn't have the opportunity to do it. Not Stormer Blades. I don't know why I like to call it that. The Blade Flurry from the Swarmlord. I think a little bit of a missed opportunity there not to use Blade Flurry. I mean, yeah, that's actually would have been really juicy. Even if it was Knobs, I think Blade Flurry could have gotten, especially on the Knob squad that was a little bit lower health, I think it could have gotten, honestly, like 2 models, which would be worth it. All right, double cap once again for the red team. Oh, no. Dead. Oh, man. Not Vindicator, Eversor Assassin. All right, here is the engagement. Swarmlord going to be moving in. Swarmlord in melee. That's going to be a Tyranid formation, looking to just provide enough disruption, as well as split the blue team armies to try to make this work in favor of the red team. And for the most part, it is kind of working. Oh, maybe not, though. That's a pretty nice orbital catching many of these Tyranid units, but the Carnifex, as well as the Swarmlord, still running rampant at the moment. Blade Flurry definitely has to be used there. Instead, oh, no, that was the Carnifex charge to knock over the Knobs. There's going to be the Blade Flurry. At least continues to disrupt the Knobs, but I think that's all sources of disruption gone for the moment. Now they will actually just have to see if they can kill enough of these Knob models to force them into a retreat. But one of these Tyranid super units might go down before that happens, and it's looking like it's probably going to be the Swarmlord. Does look like Carnifex has a charge to get out, so it will be the Swarmlord going down there. All right, meanwhile, double melted dreadnoughts. I think those things, can they chase down? I was going to say, can they chase down the Lehmann Russ? I thought they would have gone for that, but of course the Lehmann Russ is a bit faster than these dreads, so it can outrun them, but it's just so scary whenever it lets itself be shot at all by these melted dreadnoughts, especially when it exposes rear armor to them. Purifier is going to be moving in. We've got level 4 Purifiers as well as level 3 Purifiers. Meanwhile, Paladins will be jumping into melee. Ooh, I don't know if this was the great time for the Paladins to go into melee. They're going to find, they teleport in. Oh no, this is like almost guaranteed dead Paladins. They teleported in, then they're stunned by the weird boy. Oh my god, they're so dead. Gotta be so careful with Paladins against stuns. Certainly stuns against any Terminator variant. Stuns are incredibly powerful, especially if you know that your opponent has their teleport on cooldown. Lehmann Russ will go down. Rocket Run will come in as well, or the Rocket One. 2 squads of Dreadnoughts are really low on hit points, but there's only a squad of Guardsmen and a squad of Catachan Devils there to really threaten it, and there definitely was some support for those Dreadnoughts in the form of this Commando Knob, some Tactical Brains. Everything's at low health now. Meanwhile, blue team going to see if they can make a triple cap happen, but I don't think these Sluggers will be able to complete it, as we do see the Warriors as well as the Hormagaunts coming into melee. Sluggers at the moment are not fighting. They actually will just commit to finishing the cap, and if they retreat now, I think they can get out of there without losing a single model, and that's actually some pretty good victory point pressure to get at the moment. Getting that triple cap victory point pressure. Oh, but this Dreadnought, finally we're going to see this Space Marine Dreadnought go down. Silencers coming out, or is it side cannons from the Interceptors? I can honestly barely tell the difference between the Silencers and the side cannons. In fact, I think they have the same effect, the same like visual effect. But yeah, side cannons out of the Interceptors. And the Interceptors are interesting in that they can actually freely switch between the side cannons as well as their Nemesis swords. Although you have to trigger it manually. Interceptor squad has been marked. Eversor Assassin, just kidding. Vindicare Assassin, easy to mix those two up. Vindicare Assassin chasing after them, seeing if he can get another model kill off of them maybe, but doesn't quite get it. Some flash kits going to be coming out of this is Kill Jester. These flash kits going to be shooting their snaz guns until they finally upgrade to their blasters. Here are the blasters, but here's a Thornback Carnifex charging in, disrupting the entire Orc army. It's going so far that it's going past it. It's going after the Weird Boy, I think, or no, going after the Tank Busters. Meanwhile, this, although it's doing a lot of damage to the Tank Busters, this, oh no, now it's going after the Weird Boy. No, well, it's now chasing after the Weird Boy. I think this Carnifex is probably dead. Knobs, just overwhelming damage against that Carnifex, and that ended up being a suicide mission for them. Can they get a Dreadnought kill out of it, though? We do see, yes, the Venom Brood is able to finish off the Dreadnought. Snaz gun still shooting from one squad of flash kits, as we have, I guess, more than one. No. Oh, no, I was wrong. He wasn't upgrading to the Blasters. He was upgrading to the Git Finders. Git Finders, giving them the ability to find Gits. Land Raider Crusader, meanwhile, now out, and it's a double cap for the blue team. Kingfisher has, like, no army. Big orbital bombardment goes in, and that is also going to be the Knobs looking for this Land Raider Crusader, but someone needs to get on a victory point for the red team if they want to continue to be in this game. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. I think there's a pretty good chance that this will be a game in favor of the blue team. We're not quite at the point of no return yet, but it's very, very close. Interceptors trying to make it happen, though. They will get on the victory point. I think they are just barely in time, that as long as they aren't killed or knocked off the point, I'm pretty sure that they will succeed in getting the decap and stalling out this game. There's also plenty of support from them coming in the form of those Inquisitorial Stormtroopers as well as this Land Raider Crusader. Eversor Assassin trying to make something happen as well. Bio Meltdown has been activated. Start putting that damage over time on all those units. But meanwhile, the Land Raider Crusader is moving back. Big shots coming in on the Lehmann Russ, as the Lehmann Russ is probably going to go down. And and Lehmann Russ will go down. It is a double cap for the red team. Flesh over Steel has connected onto the Land Raider Crusader, but where is the damage against it? The knobs are here, but it doesn't look like they're quite targeting. That's going to be a without number call-in, not only spawning more units, but knocking most of the knobs and such back and away from it. Oh, that is a dead weird boy, though. Oh, that is going to be one dead Force Commander right there. And it's a double cap for the red team. Blue team, oh no, they can't get back out in time. I think this is, wow. I thought it was going to be a game in favor of the blue team. Now it's really, oh, there's actually still a chance that they can do it. We've got the Purifiers on the point. We've got the blue team retaking their natural. This can happen. Victory points evened out yet again. The Purifier's still on this point, but they're going to die. I feel like the other squad of Purifiers needs to take over for them. They might get wiped in retreat. Does it happen? And yes, it does. Yes, it does. I actually called a little bit too early, but then it actually happened. And now it's the Purifiers. Is it the Purifiers? I can hardly even tell. No, it's the Interceptors who I think are on the point. The Interceptors are nearly dead, though, but, oh, the Stormtroopers do take it over. Meanwhile, there is a back cap, though, going on by some Commandos. The Mando back cap. Blue team looking to take back this victory point as well. They will get the decap. Or will they? No, they won't. They get knocked off, so they won't get the decap. Another Executioner Lehmann Russ moving in. This victory point is in favor of the red team, but the rest are in favor of the blue team, and that will finally be the blue team taking this game. All right, that is it. I do hope you enjoyed it, and have a good night.